Hi, I'm John Harris of Politico. Time once again to turn the table. This week's topic, a big victory for the Tea Party in Delaware. What's the fallout? We'll discuss all this with Candy Crowley of CNN, Chris Wallace of Fox News, Bob Schieffer of CBS, and David Gregory of NBC. Bob, let's talk about the fallout from that big victory by Christine O'Donnell and her Tea Party supporters up in Delaware. You've got something like the Tea Party movement. It's going to energize voters. On the other hand, it's going to occasionally give you candidates who the operatives would all say are not the most electable. What do you think is the trade-off this year on balance, not just in Delaware, but across the board as primaries are now over? Is the Tea Party a plus or a con?
Well, I think that the Tea Party is not going to have quite the influence in November that it had in these Republican primaries. So most of these people are very, very conservative. They're not necessarily Republicans, but they are very conservative, and they pretty much anti-tax.
Obviously, if Mike Castle, the two-time governor and a longtime congressman, had won, according to the polls, he was a big favorite to take that seat. Obviously, if you take that's a Democratic loss, a Republican pickup. If he takes the seat, that's the Joe Biden Senate seat, and that would have been one of the 10 net pickup that the Republicans need to gain back control of the Senate.
Well, I can tell you that senior Republicans view it as kind of a bucking bronco. They want to tap into the enthusiasm and stay on the right side of this grassroots movement that is becoming, I think, a big ideas movement within the party. But they also recognize that there's some real downsides.
The midterm elections, I don't care what year it is, go to the people who are the most revved up, whether they are angry, enthusiastic, whatever the emotion is, the ones that are the most revved up win.
I got to say that I understand that it's a blue state and she's very conservative, but in a year when there is this much voter anger, this much voter discontent, her opponent, Chris Coons, a county commissioner, has some problems of his own in terms of deficits and raising taxes. I wouldn't write Christine O'Donnell off quite so quickly. They said the same thing about Marco Rubio in Florida, about Sharon Angle in Nevada, and they're both very competitive. I wouldn't write off Christine O'Donnell just yet.
Let's remember what happened in 1964. The Republicans with Richard Nixon and
Bob, that
establishment.
is why we love having you here, because you do remember what happened in 1964. Myself, I was only one. Tell us what happened in 1964.
All right, I'll tell you what happened. In 1960, the Republicans narrowly lost to Jack Kennedy with an establishment candidate who was Richard Nixon. So in 1964, they threw out all the establishment people, threw out the people on the East Coast mainly, and nominated a very good man, Barry Goldwater, but somebody who was far to the right of the mainstream of the Republican Party.
Christine O'Donnell, do you think she has any kind of echo nationally, or is she just a Delaware phenomenon?
Well, I mean, I think she has some echo nationally because she's got national support. She's got Sarah Palin. She's got some of the attributes and values that you attach to some of these upstart candidates who are challenging the system. Stopping
some of these candidates will become sort of a rallying cry for the president, for others in states in their individual races, saying, is this really who you want to take over? Here's this extreme position, or here's that extreme position. Is this really what you want? So yes, I think it gives them more fodder.
That's it for this week. Be sure to check out the full interviews with each Sunday show host at Politico.com/turnthetable.